Good day. STARDATE, June 9th, 2022. This is Nostradamus, aka Nostradamus reborn. The sun is at 20 Gemini. This is the Sabian of the cafeteria. The cafeteria is where we polish our delivery systems, communications, and educational deliveries. This is the moon in Libra, and it's conjunct the USA Saturn in the morning hours. This represents something of the world's social control model and political issues of seriousness. That's Ukraine, oil, high prices, deaths, COVIDity, and other operational functions of the markets that are, for the most part, destructive and debilitating of humanity's survival or long-term longevity, and abundance is included. So lunar in Taurus in the morning, and then Gemini afternoon and sunset, evening. Gemini is communications, education, and understanding, building a body of knowledge, learning, living in the real arts of nature that we are, our soul nature, learning to become aware. The galactic sun is in 1 Sagittarius, the sage. It's actually in the doctor, healer, shaman, Ophiuchus area of Sagittarius, and very much represents the need for the earth and the humanity healing and becoming free of the political and business marketing dominations, the alienation set in by the Orions, the gatherers, hunters, controllers, space god worshippers, ideologies that have been created and produced and set in motion for millenniums. It includes the genetic code modifications and alterations. This goes back, way back, beginnings in Atlantis, and probably we could say much, much longer than time passed. 60,000 years maybe, and more. Here we are today. We come up to a new era. The Universalist is at 7 Pisces. This is about world caretakers, the whale, institutions on the earth have been caretaking for a long time, and an optimal period during this summer where we can renew our empathic, and compassionate and unified vehicles and abilities, caretaking of the earth in particular and the natural environment, but also the oceans and the ocean of life that we are all in. This is the New Arc Symphony that our bird on the wire is expressing here with the real news, the new UU, listening in the sound, and we're sitting on the tree limb of the new arc that is being built and has been being built for a very long time. Now, finally, a large portion of humanity becoming aware and maybe finding a way to be of use. That includes awareness of the three levels. We have our physical level, we have the other side, physical being this side, and the other side is composite with the dream worlds and the psychic, mental, emotional dimension that we also are part of here. And most people do not see this as a realm that includes all of these. And in particular, yes, the spiritual mind or psychic dimensional relations. This also goes with science and the relativity, such as mentioned by Einstein, and all of the past systems which were really not fully supportive of the true living awareness. In fact, most often, being misused and misunderstood and turned into relations and references now, which at this point don't make much sense, such as fighting wars in Ukraine with weapons of tanks and men, and for territory and resources and egotism. It's just mammothly nonsensical. But we can become of not only the other side, the dimensional relations that are promoting and promulgating these emotional and mental ideas and feelings and thoughts, beliefs, religions, sciences, businesses, whatever. They lead us up to the real side where the true reality life is. We have to cross the border, the deep dark border of our non-dimensional true awareness. And this is an individual task and a task that everyone has been partaking and taking of, whether they know it or not. But the true reality will explain itself and express always in the moment and always now for those who are wishing to become aware. This is the new you, new education, and I'm going to share something about a dream I had that presents this in my own experience. Last night's dream of an invasion of the Vikings and the Germanic tribes by ships to the shores of a homeland, which I'm sharing is likely England, but it's also metaphoric of what's really happening now. Nonetheless, this dream was about an invasion that occurred in England, and I saw graves on the land in rows. Same thing that's happening in Ukraine that was in the news, by the way. But this was an island, or an island, that I wondered what was happening. There were ships docked with the Viking, Norwegians, Nordic peoples, and Germanics. First they were just parked, but then the invasion came and they killed women, children, massacred, and I felt this first as a projected reality by seeing the graves on the island, but then it actually happened, and I realized, because I was listening to the dream of passing this word, Lindisfarne, and I thought this was where this happened. In fact, it's true. In 1793, the Vikings invaded Lindisfarne Island off the coast of England, which was a religious center that actually began the modern church in England. Wow. I looked it up on Wikipedia and found out that this island and England had been invaded both in 1793 and in 793, and then 900 to 1000 AD. The place has been taken over by the Danes, in particular, the markets and Germanic peoples, and the English were fighting wars with them continuously. This island, in particular, was a holy island, Lindisfarne, and I had survived there by hiding with others, women and children. The island can be cut off from land by the waters that rise periodically every day in the tides. Now they have a causeway or a bridge built between this island and land. This all relates to my own religious and spiritual relations of finding out who I was as an astrologer, and then spiritual paths beyond religions, and then to this current point of coming to the real or whole new you relation of sound and light to the universes and the real earth and the real being that we are. I have not realized this totally, and it's been about 20 years of study on it now to come to this point. Thus, Nostradamus has a history. St. Peter has a history that's continuing. So does Buddha, Allah, and Christ. The isness, all isness, is working through all of this, but also through each of us personally. My 3 astrology lifetimes, from 0 AD, 800 AD, when I was Marshala, or Mars Hall, makes me think that this life as a monk in around 800 AD, which is the time of Charlemagne, is all interrelated with this, my second level learning experience in my lifetimes. Third level, first one being the Christian era, was 1600 AD, and the Nostradamus part of that, and it leads up 400 years later till now. I am doing the work of the messenger charioteer, building the new earth, new universities, and new ages with real awareness. In the current time, we all have this opportunity to become who we really are, true evangelists, not religionists, light seekers, light bringers. And this relates to The Man Who Fell to Earth, a movie made in 1975 and the remake in 2022 that expresses who we are all, men who fell to earth, going through a process to understand who we are, identify and relate our 5 bodies, the emotional, mental, causal, physical body, and the solar or soul etheric vehicles, and then to discover the whole or all isness that we really are, and this being of light, and our relations in the 3 universes as mentioned, this side, the other side, and the real side. I want to thank you all for listening. This is quite an education. Our objects to defeat or end the Orion hunter-gatherer controller's alienation, so we can identify and then recognize the true reality life is. New You You is the sound of the song. It goes like this. New You You, new. So watch your own dream visions, share, and work with the bird of life in the real universes. Here we are. We're all isness. Thank you much for listening. This is Stardate, June 9th, by Hey Pan Eagle Song, Peter Adams, over and out.